Hello everyone, welcome to part 2 of my detailed Arc Witch Elementalist leveling guide for 3.17 Siege of the Atlas. A couple of high-level pointers and disclaimers first. This is only part 2, and this guide is deliberately detailed. It would take too long to pack it all into one video, hence all the disclaimers and all the chapters in the timeline that are provided for you. First, if you have not watched part 1 yet, please check the description of the video for the links that will take you back if you need to go there. I do not claim this to be most efficient or speedrun friendly leveling method. This is just how I level, and part 1 of the guide provides further context to this point. Please do not complain or act surprised that something doesn't make sense if you didn't bother watching part 1. And the last point is, as stated in part 1, any build updates, corrections, clarifications will be added to the description of this video. So if you're checking this video a while after its publishing date, it is a very good idea to take a look there for any extra information. With all of this being said, let's keep leveling our witch. We finished part 1 of this guide by entering Sarn encampment and switching to double aura setup with Zealotry and Discipline, removing Herald of Thunder. So around level 29 we start moving to Lightning Mastery and Crackling Speed, notable point. From here onwards we will prioritize boosting our energy shield over health pool. Around level 30, try and visit Community Market yet again and look for Xirgils Crank. It is a wonderful staff, it is fantastic for this level, it is not absolutely critical if you have other good wands equipped, but it is not a bad idea to start capitalizing on this wonderful piece of equipment, which shouldn't be too expensive. Around level 31, after getting the Infernal Talk from Diala, we are ready to burn the Undying blockage in the sewers and square off with General Grievous. Rewards from Maramoa won't be applicable to this build directly, so I pick something that would help me for now, kinda semi-passively. For example, Raise Spectre will do. Since we are still running with meat shields around our zombies until we get golems. Don't freak out, part number 1 explained this point to you. So I'm going to give my zombies some spectral friends with boosted movement and attack speed. At this stage, probably the best Spectre, the most practical Spectre, is going to be the Stygian Silverback Ape from Riverways of Act 2, as it casts Frenzy charges on itself and your zombies, and that increases the damage. Yes, I know that at the moment this build does still look a little bit like meme, but like I said many times already, we will change it as we get more options further. For now, just have some fun with extra DPS. Once you get to level 33, take the Lightning Mastery, and the option that I picked is where the shocks increase the damage. And we are going to work towards killing Piety. It shouldn't be much of an issue whatsoever, because you should be putting out quite a bit of damage by this point. Then we head to Imperial Gardens and find Cheetus's Plum, not because the reward for the quest is particularly great, but because we are completionists and don't want to leave uncompleted quests behind. We will deal with the poor sailor boy in the docks and then start ascending Scepter of God back in Imperial Gardens. When leveling up, we are moving towards Energy Shield Mastery node cluster, with notable keystone there being Unnatural Calm. So why Energy Shield at this point, you would ask me? Because we need to start building up our defensive layers slowly, and because for Witch it appears to be easier to scale up Energy Shield compared to Life Pool or other defensive layers like Armor or Dodge. We are not really particularly a tank. At level 34 we ascend the tower and kill Dominus. Once again, for me it was very easy. I hope it will be fun and enjoyable for you too, because they're all about lightning around there, and lightning is our middle name. This brings us to Act 4 as we start making our journey through lovely Aqueduct to the High Gate. Around level 35, at level 35, you should be able to take Unnatural Calm, notable Energy Shield skill point, with the next one being Energy Shield Mastery, where Discipline Aura would have 25% increased mana reservation efficiency to start making space for some other useful stuff in our mana pool. At this stage, I would check if you have unlocked Emperor's Labyrinth to do your first Ascendancy run. Yes, technically you could have done it at level 33, but it is always better to overgear content and out-level content in this case, not as much overgear, because it makes it noticeably easier. Since we are ready, we will do the Labyrinth, kill the poor Izaro for the first 3 times, and finally ascend as Elementalist. Before we do that, don't forget to use the Divine Font and enchant your gloves. Hopefully you have a decent pair on. If you have access to some other pieces in your stash, you can do that as well. The gloves obviously don't have to be equipped on you. Hopefully you get also some randomly good enchant, something that has something to do with your build. Like I said, we ascend as Elementalist Witch. We have a bunch of very good competing choices here to spend the first 2 points on. Shaper of Storms being the very obvious one, and I know a lot of people go for it, but I know that I personally am going to rely very heavily on Golems, so this will have to wait. Shaper of Storms will have to wait for me. I am taking Liege of the Primordial, but the logic here is very simple, and this is hopefully going to be of help to beginners. As a casual or beginner player of the game, you will likely do the Labyrinth maximum 3 times. Getting there the 4th time requires quite a bit of commitment towards endgame progression, and not many of us do it, even I don't do it every single time, but that's how I play. So take your picks, spend some time to think about what works for you. The descriptions of those notables in that Ascendancy little tree that expands for you are fairly good, so you will be able to tell something from that. So I know I want Golems, so that is 2 runs of the Labyrinth, kinda pre-booked if you like. So I need 4 points to get to Elemancer node, and then I would like Bastion of Elements for Primal Aegis skill. That is my plan. What is yours? Tell me in the comments down below if this aligns with you, or if you would have gone straight away for the cheap and easy and very straightforward Shaper of Storms. We will get to all of this thinking process in the further parts of this leveling guide, as it's too early to talk more about it right now. Around level 36 we find Deshret's banner to unlock access to the mines and get our first Golem as rewards. This is probably where it will be good to start changing composition of our little squad, getting rid of the meme zombies. If you can still fit a Spectre in your setup, especially if it's a team boosting Spectre like one of those big apes, keep it. Otherwise start cleaning up and get rid of it, making space for Golems and their support gems. I would take Flame Golem as a free reward offered to me for opening the mines, and then I would buy Lightning Golem from a vendor. At this stage, because you ascended as Elementalist and Liege of the Primordial was your first point, you should already be able to have 2 Golems, and we will increase this number further with further Ascendancy and skill points allocation later, kind of in this progression of this guide. So I've rearranged my setup a little bit, as you can see here, putting Golems in my gloves, only 3 sockets unfortunately, so minion speed is probably the highest importance for me right now, because it increases cast speed and movement speed of the Golems, which is good and helpful. No more zombies or their support. Their linked socket in my staff, I got an extra linked socket in my staff, which is great. So now I'm just waiting for Spell Echo support, which we are going to get very soon. Around level 37 we are in the mines. At this point we can choose to go towards further resistances and boosting our defenses, such as Energy Shield further. This path would take us left from where we are now in the passive skill tree, or we go right towards more Golems, Golem Commander node, and boosting spell damage from mana. I choose to go left until I fill out the next major Energy Shield Mastery cluster of skill nodes, but feel free to simply take a look at the screenshot included in the description for the full picture of this part. Of course, it's not the full build, in case you would like to boost your damage a little bit further first. It's kind of for you to feel what you need the most right now. I am still investing in the defensive layers. Around level 38 we will enter Calm's Dream continuing to follow skill tree path to another energy shield mastery node. That's what I'm doing, and I hate Calm's Dream, by the way. Too much fire damage over time, and we are fairly skinny still, and it can kill you very quickly, so watch out. We kill Calm, take his eye, and it's quite gruesome really. For me it was around level 39 and I dinged 40 in there. We fight through Theopolis and kill lovely Daresso and take his eye too. So now we're ready to activate Rapture Device. As soon as Rapture Device is activated, we should go back to town for reward, which will be Spell Echo. So double shots for everyone, baby, even without Reverberation Rod. Obviously, if you had Reverberation Rod, you didn't need it, but if you have Xirgils Crank or any other weapon, then Spell Echo for you, my friend. I would also look into buying Cast When Damage Taken support and pair it up with the Immortal Call gem as soon as we have access to it. Not yet. Around level 41, we will get Insightfulness Notable, which boosts our energy shield further. We kill Malachi the Nightmare with 0 issues, again smooth as butter in my experience, and enter Act 5. At level 42, we are going through Escaping the Slave Pens process, which is going to be fun. I find it really fun here with arc chaining everywhere, and you end up at Overseer's Tower, which is the actual start of Act 5. With level 43, we take Arcane Focus with increases to our energy shield even more, and now probably being in a good enough position to revert back and go back to filling out that damage circle, the Herald of Thunder semicircle of passive skills at the very top of the tree, which we continue filling out from 43, 44, 45, as we enter Oriath Square and then start fighting our way through Templar Courts, which is another enclosed area which is fantastic for arc bouncing around everywhere, chaining around everywhere, frying everything. I find it particularly fun there. And with level 45 we will enter Sanctum of Innocence, find finally the High Templar Avarius and kill him. Which, spoiler alert, I'm sorry my friends if it's the first time for you, this will free the bad god Kitava, and things are not going to go too well for lovely Oriath at that point onwards. So this is roughly where we're going to stop, probably, again, to keep these parts of this guide of reasonable length, not too long for you, and I hope you did enjoy this. Once again, the Path of Exile is extremely beginner unfriendly, unfortunately. That's why I'm doing this for real beginners, for people who want to be held by the hand as opposed to just dumped a POB, Path of Building, linked at them and that's it, and left to fend for themselves. So hopefully this was helpful for some of you. If it was, please don't be shy, let me know that I'm doing something right and like the video right now, and subscribe for more parts of this Arc Witch leveling guide, which are coming your way quite frequently, as you can see right now if you're watching it in real time, as these videos are being released rather than far into the future. Thanks again, talk to you soon, bye for now.